this house in a quiet suburb of Rotterdam, it feels like time stopped in 2014. Silene lost her son and his girlfriend when Flight MH17 was shot down. For the last 7 years, their room has been left as it was.
I couldn't throw things away. I can't throw things away. It's just still their room to me.
Nothing has been moved since their death except the contents of this cabinet.
Ashes from the crash site.
Memories of the lost couple fill their home. Silene and her husband are still struggling to deal with the aftermath of the tragedy. They're still in mourning.
Whenever the family gathers for some reason or another, we always put a plate of food for them over there, and a drink, for Daisy a glass of wine, and a whiskey for Bryce. We burn candles for them, and we all talk about them a lot.
You've done nothing, but you get a life sentence.
These are our speeches.
Now they will finally be able to speak about their distress in court. Silene and Rob have been preparing for months.
It feels as if I'm doing it for Bryce and Daisy. I'm their voice.
On July 17th, 2014, a Malaysia Airlines plane took off from Amsterdam, heading for Kuala Lumpur. It was shot out of the sky by a Russian Buk missile while flying over eastern Ukraine, where separatists were fighting. All 298 passengers and crew died, 2/3 of whom were Dutch. As a result, the public prosecutor in the Netherlands opened a case. Rob and Silene are about to enter this high-security courtroom. They're getting ready to give the most harrowing testimony of their lives. They've brought the ashes of their child to court.
Mijn enige zoon, Bryce. Bryce en Daisy zijn mij ontnomen.
Maar opeens was daar Daisy. Een verlegen, mooi meisje uit de buurt.
Alle mooie vooruitzichten en dromen van en voor Bryce en Daisy, met Bryce en Daisy zijn weg. Nooit meer elke zaterdag voetbal. Nooit meer papa bij.
It's an emotional moment for these mourning parents, but Silene sees it as essential.
We were able to paint a picture of Bryce and Daisy. The judges know there were 298 victims, but by talking, we put a face to them. And we could explain what it did to us as next of kin.
Victims have only been able to testify in the Netherlands since 2005. 91 relatives of victims will exercise their right to speak, the largest number ever to do so. This lawyer had to prepare his clients.
There is no good or bad. It's your personal story. The only thing which is not wise is to talk to the suspect, like you did this, you did that, you murdered. No, they are still suspects. Yeah? They are still suspects. The court gives a sentence, not the family members.
3 Russians and a Ukrainian stand accused of having ordered the missile to its firing location. The suspects are being tried in absentia, but another responsible party appears frequently in the testimonies of relatives, Russia. Before speaking to the court, PIET wants to wait for all the evidence to have been presented.
The Russian Federation has also a role in the downing of MH17. The separatists are backed up by the Russians, and the Russians had factual control over eastern Ukraine. And so they have a big responsibility. And they denied everything up to now. And I think this trial is very important because of the 4 suspects, but also because the court will say something about the used missile and the firing location. And that says a lot about the involvement of the Russian Federation.
Russia blocked the creation of an international criminal tribunal, but the country's responsibility is being examined by the European Court of Human Rights.
Both the cases at the Dutch criminal law and the case at the European Court of Human Rights, they are parallel. They're separate, and at the same time they all go on downing MH17. In the Dutch criminal case, it is about the perpetrators, and so they are being tried as persons. At the European Court of Human Rights, it's about Russia.
In the Dutch trial, a verdict is expected before the end of next year. But relatives know it is only one step on a much longer road to justice.